Right, well, hello guys, this is Briggsy here, and today I'm joined by Tom.
Hey.
He's a very lovely man.
Oh, as is Briggsy.
Hey.
I get my loveliness from him.
Yeah, it just seeps into you. This is already
That's
standing very
nice and okay. Oh, is that the door?
Yeah.
That way.
Right, okay, so we are here today to talk about something that's been a very long time coming.
3 years.
3 years?
3 years in July.
Really?
Not that I'm counting, but it was Comic-Con 2011, 2012, 2013.
Damn.
There we go.
Damn,
I can't even count.
I was just like, it's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Batting around somewhere in the background. Batting around. Classic comedy.
God, this is a long video.
Right, but if you can't tell what it is that we're talking about, it is of course Batman v Superman. I watched it literally yesterday.
I saw it Saturday.
Ooh.
Saturday evening, half eight. Ooh. I will remember that day for a long time. And
I'll probably end up forgetting about it. Be like, something happened. But
I did something.
We have a slight divided opinion.
I'm quite the fanboy. If you give me Batman in any shape or form, I will love it. Mm-hmm. I will very much love it, apart from Batman and Robin.
We don't need to talk
about that. But at the same time, it's still Batman.
Ugh.
I have to respect it.
Is it?
But it is very bad.
Yeah.
It's very, very bad. But I loved it. I very much loved it.
So, my general feeling towards it, I'm approaching this from two angles. One being a fan of comic books. I love Batman. He's probably my favourite comic book character.
Rightfully so.
The comic book stuff is good.
Uh-huh.
As a film, it's a pain in the arse.
Okay, hit me up. But you come at me and then
just quickly.
Okay.
Just as a kind of overview, in case people can't make it all the way through this, which I don't blame them.
No.
Out of 10, what would you give it?
I'm going to give it a solid 8.5.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
8.5. Possibly by the end of this video, once I've spoken about it, I will make note that this is the first time that I am going to talk at it about any critical level. So it could change. It won't go down. It will probably go up.
Just bump up a little bit.
Ask me again at the end of the video. You have to get that height.
Yeah.
So what would you give it? As a whole, not as the film style or as a comic book film.
I would say a 7.
Okay.
Possibly a 6.5.
Okay.
But that's the thing, it's one of the, like, watching it, there were so many things that I loved, but so many things that annoyed me that I was just like constantly kind of going up and down as to how good I thought it was.
Okay.
So how do you want to tackle this? Do you want to tackle it bit by bit, or do you just want to take it from the beginning and work through?
Well, let's just take it from the beginning and work through.
Okay.
Let's take it from the beginning and work through.
Okay. So
let me start here. When you going into the film,
mm-hmm.
you stood there yesterday.
Yep.
Ready to see Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Let's just take a moment to acknowledge the fact that we saw this film. This film exists.
Yeah, it does.
We saw Batman versus Superman in the cinema. We saw the Flash appear to Bruce Wayne.
Just like to say, amazing. Love that.
We'll get to that bit. We'll get to that bit. We saw Aquaman. We saw Wonder Woman.
Yep.
We saw them all in the same space of time.
Yep.
That's a very good thing. But going into the film, what were your expectations?
I think more than anything, I just really wanted it to be good. I wasn't expecting it to be, because I knew that this was essentially supposed to set up a lot of things. So
it had a lot on its shoulders.
Yeah, and Marvel's had however many years to kind of slowly build it up, and DC's playing catch up. So it's just like, we've got to do so much world building and setting up. So I wasn't expecting anything amazing, but I still had high hopes.
So on that point, DC is sort of doing it in the way I see it. They're doing it the reverse way, whereas Marvel started with Iron Man and slowly built up to the Avengers.
Yeah.
DC are almost going in reverse, whereas we've got Batman v Superman. We've had Man of Steel. Let's not forget Man of Steel.
Yeah,
which almost acted like the Iron Man that came out before these plans were really cemented.
Yeah.
But then they've happened. But Batman vs Superman obviously brings everyone together. And we've got Justice League next year, which is basically their Avengers.
Yeah.
And then we get the solo films. We get Wonder Woman next year.
Yeah, which I'm looking forward to now.
Very much. She was incredible.
A lot of people are saying she stole the show. She didn't, because she was in it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, she
but she was good
when she was in it. Possibly the best thing on screen when she was in it.
Yeah.
Other than when she was next to my boy. But yeah, they're doing it in the reverse way, where they're going nearly said full frontal, which wouldn't be the right choice of words.
But it could still work.
Could still work, yeah. And then we're going to get The Flash in 2018, Aquaman, and then 2020 we got Green Lantern Corps.
Yes.
Green Lantern Corps, not just Green Lantern.
They've said that it's not going to really be connected for at least 2 films.
It's almost like the, I don't know, the Guardians of the Galaxy of the...
Yeah, which is fine, I can understand, because I would imagine some people still are over.
DC are probably a bit like, let's approach it very sensible.
Do we have to deal with that again? Which is... Yeah, I can understand it.
And we'll even get Cyborg in the same year. We're not getting Cyborg until 2020.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of solo films coming, but they're going straight to Justice League. So you went in with lowered
expectations, but high hopes.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
So I went in with high expectations. I was that audience member who had the chance to be really disappointed. I wouldn't let the negative reviews get to me.
Yeah.
I was right, because it's Batman, so I was going in. I was like, I'm going to see Batman on the big screen.
Yeah.
They're going to be fine. I'm not a massive fan of Superman.
Okay.
He's not really my dude.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And yeah, so I was ready for a Batman film. I was ready for some awesome action, which we got.
Yes.
And yeah, I had so high hopes, big expectations, and to me, personally, they were delivered. I didn't go in. Zack Snyder directed this film.
That's what you want to call it.
Yeah, he put this film together.
Yes, he put the film together.
So you get his reputation precedes him.
Yeah.
But I went in. I was very, very excited. I was shaking. I went for dinner. Yeah. If you're watching this and you know me, you may still well be underestimating how much I like Batman as a thing. I went in. I was having dinner with my family. And I was shaking when we were finishing dinner because I was like, I'm so excited. And I went and got the popcorn, the cup. Yeah. I got the last popcorn bucket that's styled like Batman. It was very special. So I went in. I was very, very excited.
Okay, so let's start making some headway into this, because we've been waffling on for about 8.5 minutes already.
Apologies for that.
No, they have to put up with it.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, from what I can remember, opening scene is a retelling, again, of Batman's origin, which is fine, because they handle it in about 3 minutes and it's just an opening credit scene, which is fine. Yeah,
that's what I said to my friend earlier, it's the credit sequence.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to put it somewhere, put it there. You don't need a whole setup of it. We didn't really need to see it again.
No, but I liked, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Soon to be seen
elsewhere
on TV.
Were you Walking Dead fans? Know what we're talking about?
Who played Martha Wayne?
Wait, it was Maggie, wasn't it?
Lauren Cohen.
I was just like, are they friends with the people over at Walking Dead?
Yeah, there's something going on. There's something going on. But yes, very, very good. Very good. Stephen Sogo.
Yes, I thought that was very good casting as well. If they ever bring him back for something, I would like to see that. But yeah, quick, painless. If you
not for us, but for them, because they died.
Yeah, they're dead.
Spoilers.
Oh yes. Before we go any further, massive spoilers. We're going in depth. We're going deep.
Yep.
So deep that you can taste it.
Everything in this room, other than us, is going to be spoilers.
Although, no, you're not wearing anything that could be considered a spoiler. So
no.
But yeah, you've been warned. Don't carry on watching this and be like, you fucking spoiled it.
Anyone in those comments who say spoilers, it's been out a few days. You're not going to be watching a Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice review without having seen it.
So there you go. I'll even just put a thing at the beginning anyway. or here.
He's gonna
along here.
Spoilers everywhere.
So anyway, right. Possibly my favourite scene or set of scenes of the whole film is, I'm pretty sure this is the next part anyway, Batman on the ground of Man of Steel.
Metropolis, seeing that action from another perspective. Yeah.
I literally had chills.
Yeah.
I was just like, whoa.
But yeah, when he's running and when he's basically using his, you can see him. He's obviously Bruce Wayne at this point. He's witnessing Superman versus Zod.
Just fucking shit up. Because obviously in Man of Steel, the perspective from that, it's a little bit skewed. You're like, oh yeah, things are falling from the sky and they're crashing into buildings.
Yeah.
But then when you see it from the ground, you're just like, that must be horrifying.
Yeah, and like one of the big criticisms of Man of Steel is that Superman is probably responsible for a lot of death.
Yes.
But we'll get onto that point because there's a point I want to raise later.
Okay.
Yeah, so continue.
I thought that was really, really amazing. A very Batman / Bruce Wayne thing. So this being the first glimpse of Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, that was it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love him.
I that was the bit in the trailers when you see him running into the debris and the smoke.
Yeah.
That I remember thinking, "Ooh, he's good." Like he's got that Bruce Wayne. This is a Bruce Wayne who has been using his Batman-ness in real life, and when he's driving through, he's behind a different kind of bat feel. And I thought exhilarating.
And he's nailed that kind of menacing look.
He's seen some shit.
I hate you.
Yeah, yes, when he's looking up, when he's got the little girl.
Yeah.
I thought really good. Already sort of analysing it when I was in there, I was already analysing like the guy that's with his legs crushed. His name is Wallace. I was like, okay, are they really going that far? Who's that going to be? Obviously Wally DC, you think Wally West, he's got his legs hurt, you don't know what's going on.
Yep.
So we're analysing it, but he's going in, he's saving people, he sees the little girl, he's using his speed like that. He's basically Batman out in the open.
Yeah, to a certain degree, yeah.
And yes, it really does sort of show you from that different perspective that it was kind of terrifying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the aliens were attacking
and
Metropolis. And
that's the thing, there's these, satellites crashing to Earth, a ship going through buildings, and there's literally nothing that he can do.
No, he can
ring someone up and be like, get out of that building,
try and
please.
Try and live. Try and live. Jack, whoever works at Wayne, and that really cements the whole him not liking Superman. Yeah,
which is, even just that point alone, you could have left it at that, not had anything else in the film, and you could completely understand why Batman would want to take Superman down. Completely justified.
Yeah, because he's absolutely dangerous. And he is, is someone who is dangerous. Like, I was on Team Batman.
Yes.
Because, if this alien thing had gone evil, I mean, look at the Bizarro story in the comics when it's Superman's powers, but he's a bad guy. If it goes evil, then the world is fucked. Yeah. For a lack of a better word.
Because there's not much that they can do.
No.
Now, from this point on, I get a little bit hazy. Like, I probably will end up misremembering where certain things happen. So, just as like a generalization, it seems to me that the first 40 minutes, up until what you mentioned earlier, the Flash appearance, it seems very grounded, very serious, very much like the first trailer that came out for this seemed very much just aiming to deal with Batman as this guy that feels like he should take down Superman because he is a power that is unchecked. Nothing on Earth can stop him. Should he be held responsible for all the actions that he does? And it seemed very grounded, very serious. But, quick side note. First thing that annoyed me.
Okay. Yeah, let's just dive into it.
Well, two things actually. The desert.
Are we talking the nightmare scene?
No.
No.
The first desert scene where Lois Lane goes.
Oh, of course, with the army.
Yes. So, first one, photographer.
Yeah.
I didn't realise this. That's Jimmy Olsen.
It is Jimmy Olsen.
What
Yeah.
Why?
Like, there's a character that exists purely to get shot.
He's very integral. Like, he's been in the comics for forever.
Yeah, Jimmy Olsen, friend of Lois and Clark.
Yeah, they're like all best mates.
Yeah, budding reporter is suddenly a CIA agent who
he's shot within like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You don't even see his death. Lois seems unfazed by it.
And it's also, it does start to this is where I have a criticism.
Oh,
I know.
I'm shocked.
Shocking. And it's quite a big one. It's kind of like just a small thing. The film is quite incoherent.
Yes.
In terms of, and that is the one review. All you people out there criticizing this film, the one thing you get spot on is incoherent, and like, so Jimmy's there, and that's led to believe, like, that's the reason that thing falls apart.
Yeah.
But then those soldiers actually turn out to be working for Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
So
again, another thing it seems to be way too overly convoluted. But yes, that's how it ends up. So fair enough if he didn't want to deal with Jimmy Olsen in this film. That's fine. But don't just kill him.
Don't kill him.
Like,
Yeah.
if anybody else wants to touch this Superman in a standalone film, that's a big key character that's just fucking dead.
Gone.
They can't deal with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, why?
Absolutely. And the only thing that would wreck on that is if the next Superman film is some sort of prequel leading up to the events, and it's like an adventure, like a sort of a mini adventure where Jamie Olsen, and then that sort of lends, like, oh, he's actually he's a double agent. Like,
Yeah.
he's working for the CIA, but his story really doesn't. He is literally there for a plot device.
Yeah.
To kick that stuff off.
Yeah, if I hadn't have sat all the way through the credits just in case there was an end scene.
Which there isn't.
No, there's not. Don't bother. I mean,
even
obviously,
if
anybody that's worked on this film, you did a marvellous job, but nobody wants to sit through credits unless there's something at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
And if you're a superhero film,
yes.
it's almost... But we'll get onto it. What would have been the post-credit scene, in my mind, is actually in the film.
Are you on about the dark side?
No, I'm on about... No, that's a whole thing. The nightmare sequence. I'm on about Diana sat at her desk watching the tapes.
Yes, that would
Or
have been
even one of those tapes would have been the post-credit sequence.
Yes.
Because that's all a post-credit sequence is it's world building, and like, it's just an Easter egg.
It's just a way to kind of tie you into the rest of what they're planning on doing.
And they basically just put that in the film.
Yeah. But yes.
So Jimmy Olsen exists to get shot, doesn't really serve any purpose, and then eventually that whole scene is a scene that's revealed to be Lex trying to catch Superman, if I remember correctly.
Trying to turn the world against him.
Yeah.
Now, there's another thing that I have this is probably worse than the Jimmy Olsen. I don't care what anybody says. Superman kills a guy. He fucking obliterates that dude.
Oh, which guy are we talking about?
So, Lois Lane is being held at gunpoint.
Uh-huh.
Superman comes crashing in, and he takes him full force through like 3 walls.
Yeah.
He couldn't survive that.
Well, we don't know what went through the wall.
It was
not defending it. This is, I think, what I get that. Yeah, I get it. I mean, but this is a Superman that has killed.
Yes, but through no other choice.
It's necessity. Yeah,
yes.
I suppose absolutely.
This guy could have shot lasers at him and met with a gun. He could have
done something.
Just grabbed the gun. He could have done anything other than decide to ram this guy through walls.
Okay, yeah.
It's just, it seems very out of character, which is something that will come up for Batman later on.
I know exactly where you're going with this.
So that's that scene. That was a little bit annoying. But yes. And then, so what happens after that?
So we see this, then it's basically, because this is the real incoherence, where it is basically that first almost hour is almost a set of scenes that are just put together. You see something, but then the next main scene that I remember, don't rip me apart, is the scene with Lois and Clark. in the apartment.
Yes.
And it's established that they are Lois and Clark.
They are together.
She knows him. She knows. I mean, that was one of the big things in Man of Steel, was that Lois now knows that Clark is Superman.
Yeah, which kind of, for lack of a better term, cuts out all the pussyfooting around that they did in the original Superman film.
Yeah, it's like, oh, who are you?
Yes.
And it's also something that is quite modern with superhero films, is where secret identities aren't really a big player with those immediate characters. Like, and especially in the Marvel films, is everyone knows who everyone is.
Yeah.
Like, it's no secret that Tony is Iron Man. So I think that's the next scene. It's just that nice little scene of sort of establishing their relationship.
Yeah, which is nice. After that, the next one that I remember is...
It would be the introduction to Lex, right?
Yes.
Must have been.
Because it's that, and then there's... The next one that I remember is the party.
Oh, at Lex's.
Yes.
Yeah. So you've had that introduction to Lex where he's.
Right. Let's talk about Lex.
Okay.
So, for me, I've always known Lex Luthor as quite a big built guy, very focused, very determined, very cunning, and quite menacing.
Yes.
Jesse Eisenberg, his portrayal. Now, granted, this is Lex Luthor's son, not Lex Luthor. He is shit.
Do you not like him?
I do not like him. I would like him as maybe a Riddler, Pitch Perfect, or anybody else.
Okay.
But as Lex Luthor, no.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Don't buy it.
We have approached our first disagreement
Oh.
of the video. I really liked it.
Wow.
I really liked it. I thought I think the big thing that people are I think there's a lot of people that are hurt with the differing portrayals of these characters, different like interpretations of these characters, like that they kill. We'll get on.
Yeah.
This is the Lex Luthor for this world. I think you do see his evolution. With the father thing, I kind of wish they hadn't done that because it's not needed.
It's it falls a bit flat. It's supposed to be a justification for how he is.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work.
No, especially as by the end of the film, he is Lex Luthor. Like, he is bold. He hates Superman, hates Batman. An agent at Darkseid.
Potentially.
We'll get onto the nightmare stuff in a minute.
Yep.
No, I really liked his. I thought very, very kind of his dialogue was interesting. Very unique stuff. I thought I really, really liked his portrayal. I liked the idea that he's this guy that's been looking into these metahumans, taken straight from the TV shows. I think that was that nod, like a metahuman thing. Like, it's never been a thing until The Flash.
Yeah.
TV show, great TV show. Grant Gustin should still be playing.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Barry
I've only seen a few episodes, but yeah, I am a fan of that.
Super.
Okay. Sorry about that. Slight cut there.
We cool.
Yeah, I've only seen a couple of episodes, but from what I've seen, I quite liked him. He's quite charming.
Yeah,
quite playful.
Brilliant. But we'll get on to The Flash.
Yes. Anyway,
I really like Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. But I think he is one of the first divisive. Always since the casting, like.
Yeah, I mean, even then I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like, even though he had just played Walter White, looks-wise...
Oh, absolutely. Like, he has been
Bryan Cranston's
Lex
nailed
Luthor.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, we had the beard, the hair, and just...
But what I was saying to myself whenever he's like, twitching away, is that he is not Lex Luthor. He is his son. And it's not established, I don't think, that his father is dead.
No, he's spoken about in the past tense.
Yes. So there's always the potential that someone else could come along and portray the Lex Luthor that most people identify with.
Yeah.
So that's...
Same for the Joker, Jared Leto.
Yeah.
There's that massive theory about he's not the Joker. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So that's what you were telling yourself.
Yeah. It's... Yeah.
I mean, we've got to talk, if we're going to talk, this first scene of all three of them together at the party. Let's talk about the party scene.
Yeah.
Where he comes in, he's Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
I love bringing people together. The first thing we saw.
But again, that should have been, in the cinema, you should have been like, ooh, this is going to be interesting. But you see in the trailer,
Yeah.
there's so much of this film that's in the trailers
Yep.
that are quite big plot points, and you're
Yep.
like, eh.
It's a masterclass in don't do the trailers like that.
Yeah.
Like, I thought the trailers. We're jumping around. It's beautiful.
Look, just-
it's a conversation. It's
Yeah.
a conversation. We don't structure things.
I certainly don't.
No, we could. I think the trailers are a talking point in the fact that yes, they did ruin a lot. I did feel that I've seen this, but I was sort of waiting for those moments, and there was enough in it for me
Yeah.
that I might come off as like an apologist for this film. There was enough in it for me that I still felt that there was enough that I was like, oh, I haven't seen that before. Like Wonder Woman's entrance, where
Yeah.
she lowers her fist, and the fun fact for you, that is not an electric guitar playing, it's actually an electric cello.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have something to say about the music.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. No, there was a lot in it. Like the fight, the one that sticks out to me the most. Two things is the Batman fight with him and the goons in the dockyard.
Oh, damn.
Superb.
Amazing.
One of possibly my favourite moment in the film. That was one of 2 points that I cried.
Wow.
Because I was just like, this is so
Just
good.
tears of happiness.
Yes, and I was laughing. Like, if the film had suddenly shut off
Yeah.
and the sound had just gone, people would have been like, what is his problem? That trailer, that scene was the original beginning of the last trailer, where
Yeah.
Alfred's like, there are goons on the third level, how about I drop you off on the second level?
Yeah.
But that fight there was still enough of that fight that wasn't in the trailers that I was just like, oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean that I could deal with because, as you say, I'd say they showed about maybe a third of that fight sequence, and the other 2/3 is in the film. That's fine. In the trailers, though, I feel so. For example, the first trailer, absolutely fine.
The Do You Bleed one.
Yeah, slightly different tone than what the actual film ended up being. The one revealing Doomsday, god awful. Why?
Yeah, that was.
People were trying to be like, they don't actually say it's Doomsday. It's Doomsday.
Yeah, and there was also the quote from one of the producers, who said that it's not actually the final threat. It was the final threat.
Yes.
Like, it brought them all together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that middle trailer. There's no getting around it. It showed a lot.
Too much. And then
Go on.
the last trailer
Well,
was good. It doesn't really reveal anything to do with the plot, so I appreciated that. It might reveal a little bit too much of the action. Like,
yeah. Well, for if that Batman fight had gone not in the trailers,
yeah.
that would have been a crowd pleaser.
Oh,
that would have been like, ha!
Like, there's a very specific point
Goosebumps talking about it.
that is in the trailer that after I watched it, I was like, damn it, I wish I'd waited till I went to the cinema. When Superman throws a punch and it is blocked.
Oh, and it's down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, oh.
Superman's just like, shit.
Yeah. And it's like, that bit is like, because when that went for this shooting thing went through me. And it was at least it was out of context. Like, we don't know that the actual title fight, I thought, wasn't affected by the trailers, because I thought there was enough. You only ever saw the outside stuff really from the Batman versus Superman title fight. You don't see it. You don't see his kryptonite gas.
No,
Or his
but it's
fear
very.
gas.
If you know the source material, there's a lot of bits that you're like, oh, well, this is what happens after that. Then,
Yeah.
So,
Very true.
Yeah.
Very, very true. Seeing them fight though.
Great, not enough of it.
No.
No, way too brief.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
It's
it
just-
lasts what, like 10 minutes.
It's like 10 minutes, and the whole film is titled Batman vs Superman.
Okay.
I was just like, ah.
You have stumbled upon my big argument.
Oh,
So we come out of the film. I see it with my family.
yeah.
I see it with my family. Mum bought me the tickets. She was very, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Big love to my mum.
That's Mum's mum.
Comes out of it, and my brother goes, "Well, there wasn't actually that much Batman v Superman stuff," and I was like, the actual whole film, Batman v Superman, to me, never meant that fight. It never meant that fight.
Right.
It meant Batman versus Superman, Superman versus Batman in their ideologies, what they stand for, them working against each other.
Yes.
Like, Batman basically spends the movie building his case to fight Superman, doesn't it? Because he's trying to get the kryptonite.
Well, that's part of the film. Most of the film, yeah, I suppose. But the actual ideology aspect of it, it seems a bit. The way that they execute it comes across as very flimsy.
Okay.
Especially in regards to like how the fight ends.
The 10-year-old bit of trivia.
Yeah.
The decades old. They've got the same mum's name.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Like,
yeah, it's because in the. Have you watched the animated? Or
never
the graphic
seen
novel?
it. Need to. Read it, obviously.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Then. So, the whole point of that is he's from what I remember anyway is that he just wants to make Batman bleed, so he instills fear in him to let him know that this is the day that a man made you bleed. So
yes,
it's kind of lowering down to their level, which
Superman
is
not
Superman, which is very, very powerful.
Yes, a lot more powerful than the film. Yeah.
And it's just poor execution on the filmmaker's part.
Yes, I absolutely agree.
That's my
absolute, and the way the fight ends is awkward.
Yeah.
In that, because to quote Greg Miller, love that guy, big love to that guy. A lot of this film can be sorted by someone going, "Wait."
Yeah.
Like Superman could have come in, and I know that the way I argue this is that it's a movie. Yeah, there has to be some sorts of leaps. I know that is a very weak argument.
No, it's not, because especially in comics there is a lot that you have to kind of suspend your disbelief.
Yeah.
But I feel like this film asks too much of you.
I think it's down to its tone. Like, it's very very serious, and like if it was that serious, people would really cut to the chase.
Yes.
If Clark had landed before that fight, when he lands, I imagine Deadpool would have been there going, "Superhero landing, superhero landing, superhero landing." And when he lands, you're just like, "Oh my god, what's gonna happen?"
Yeah.
He could have gone, "They've got my mum."
Yes.
They've got my mum.
Because in the source material, it's the government that sends Superman after Batman.
Yes.
His reasoning, I was invested in it, because it's Lex Luthor, after all of this, so after all the sleuthing around by Batman, which he doesn't do too much of, but he does enough, I suppose.
He does enough. I mean, unfortunately, it's never really been a part of cinematic Batman.
Yes.
The detective aspect.
Yeah.
I mean,
you get a couple of bits, which is fair enough. It's enough, I suppose. And then you've got Superman, to a certain extent, kind of answering for the first film, but only really one scene, which is in the Capitol.
Yes, yeah.
So all of that culminates in Superman finding out that it's Lex Luthor that's orchestrated all of this. He's the one that caused the explosion at the Capitol to try and get people to turn against Superman, because he just doesn't like him, because he's got daddy issues.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yes. So, and then he reveals that he has his mum, and he's threatening to burn her alive, which, as soon as I was just like,
whoa,
that's
something.
That's dark.
I really liked that. I think going with the incoherency, I think that's a word.
Incoherence, yeah.
See, I think that's a. It does really sort of level out near the end. It's not really the best point to level out. When the whole plan comes together.
Yeah.
When Lex has got Lois, and then he saves and that from that point on, perfect. Like there's not a real, because it is basically just people hitting each things.
Yes.
Which is what summer blockbuster really is these days.
Yeah, which is why it's making lots of money.
Yeah, and it's not Christopher Nolan behind. It's not Christopher Nolan. It's not Spielberg.
No.
It's Zack Snyder behind the camera. But I really did like that moment where, although you knew that Martha had been taken, which was necessary, you need to see that that whole sort of him tricking Superman, whereas Superman turns up, he's like, I've got her, she's safe.
That's probably the only scene where I was like, he's menacing right now because he is outsmarted Batman and he is Superman and he is.
Yeah, he's got Superman on his
quite
knees.
Dark.
Yeah, he's like, oh, we'll.
If
kill
I was
her.
Superman, I'd be like, man, I'm
gonna go get this guy. He's like,
shit
yeah.
Just.
Of course. You good there?
That looks okay. 12. Fuck it, another cut. Whatever. Jesus.
What of it?
Man, we really are jumping around with this.
Yeah, we are. It's a discussion.
Yeah. Yes. So that's the only time that I felt that he was actually menacing. But yeah, that was enough motivation for me on Superman's part to go behind or to go for Batman. Like if.
So by then you were invested in both their sides.
Yes. It's a shame that it took that long.
Just you'd been invested in Batman's like an hour and a half before Superman's.
Exactly.
But that's fair enough.
But the fight itself, awesome.
Yeah.
Like slowly building up to hit, like Batman's got a couple of tricks up his sleeve.
When he's
the supersonic cannon.
Yeah, when Superman's walking towards Batman, he's deploying traps. You're like, this is a smart guy.
Yeah.
And then Superman, like when he picks up the manhole cover and that second time I cried was that fight was just, I was just like, they're just throwing punches, and implied Batman uses Scarecrow's fear toxin. I don't know. He says that's fear.
I think it's not so much fear toxin, it's just that he is now powerless.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. Yeah, that's probably me being reading way too much into it.
I mean, it would be cool.
It'd be awesome.
But
just
I don't
that
think
whole.
Zack Snyder's that clever.
No, it's very true. Apologies, Zach.
Sorry, if you happen to watch this.
If you're watching this, hey, how you doing, man? Love the movie.
Man, hire me sometime.
Love it. No, I get that. I just seeing that whole sequence.
Yeah.
Just great. Like it really delivered.
It was. I mean, some people were complaining about it being clunky, but Batman's in a giant
He's
mech
huge.
suit. He is massive.
He's physically intimidating.
Yeah. Like if there was a normal person next to him, I think it would have made a bit more sense. But yeah, it's what do you expect?
Yeah.
But again, it is one of those things where literally he could have taken out the supersonic cannons. He could have taken out the guns and then be like, "Stop! Really, just stop! I don't want to fight you."
Yeah.
And instead, he just takes him up for a building.
Yeah. I think the weakness there is that he just never said that they've got his mum. I think because that obviously does resonate with Batman.
Yes.
But there's also, at that point, there's no getting through to Bruce.
Yeah, I suppose. Again, it's you've got to. He's supposed to be a very intelligent man. That if he was to say that, something would click in his head and be like, okay, that explains things.
Because, I mean, ultimately he does.
Yeah.
And then they're like bros.
Yeah.
Like, I was expecting someone to go sort of go,
yeah,
peace. Like,
I want it to still be a little bit frosty.
Yeah, and I bet there probably will be, and we'll get on to a point in a minute when... I mean, we need to talk about the nightmare, but that's a section in itself.
We've got so much stuff.
We've got a lot to talk about, but we've got time.
Yeah, I can always just. But yeah, so let's condense this fight. So, gas grenades, awesome. He starts knocking the shit out.
Mate, he absolutely obliterates Superman. That was a sort of proud moment where, because there's all the big question that I've always been asked in the past 3 years. Or even is obviously it's the Batman, who's better, and then there's also people going, yeah, of course it's Batman. I've actively avoided wearing anything Batman. I've got a belt buckle, just because of the fanboyism. And if you notice, any keen-eyed people watching this, he's red, and I'm bluish.
Yeah.
So we've actually got a bit of Batman v
Also,
Superman
it's
going on here.
Flannel. So
Flannel.
on the farm.
Eggs, there we go. That is a...
Totally planned.
Boom! Boom, this is Batman v Superman in Southampton.
Although I would never represent Superman. He's a little pussy.
Yeah, douchebag. Yeah, it was one of those proud moments where I was like, I wanted to turn around to people and go, yep, see?
Yeah.
Better.
There is actually a video which is something that I want to touch on when we get to Batman potentially mortally wounding people.
Yes.
Where, yeah, there's a guy called Mr. Sunday Movies. It's amazing, you should check him out. And he actually does a video where it's times that Batman and Superman have fought, and Batman is like, he wins 5 times and Superman wins 3 times. So there you go, it's in comics. Batman's better.
Big spoiler. We've given the spoiler warning.
Again,
and we haven't really delved into the spoilers that much yet.
Not really.
But we'll start here. Is Batman basically wins?
Yeah,
like
he wins.
Superman is on the floor.
Yeah,
screwed.
He could have killed him
if he had just gone with his kryptonite spear.
Yeah.
Which my brother went, huh, it's a green arrow. I was like, that's a stretch. Yeah, and like he does win, like he wins.
Yeah,
and it's only when he goes, they're gonna kill Martha.
Yeah.
And Batman sort of does this.
He has a massive like. Oh, quick side note.
Oh, of course.
Love the voice modulator.
Love
really like that.
Yeah, love the note. I love what I thought was one of the criticisms of Christian Bale's. He's like this.
Yeah.
Like why? And like there's the scene in Dark Knight Rises where he's on the rooftop on his own, and he goes, "Well, that's what it feels like."
Yeah.
It's like if you're on your own, you don't need to talk like that. But I thought it was a nod that when Alfred puts it up to his thing, it's like a nod of them going, "This is why he sounds like that."
Yeah.
Like this is why.
They do that a couple of times.
With his voice.
With the voice, but also in regards to casualties.
Okay. Let's hit it up. Let's hit it up. Before quickly, just a lovely little bit of detail I loved at the end of the fight when he's dragging Superman with the voice.
Yeah.
And you hear the voice like delaying and like broke because Batman gets screwed up. Like his mask is gone.
Yep. He's still like, because there are parts where Superman gets his powers back.
Yeah. And
Batman's got to be like, oh shit, I got fucking.
One of the bits I love. One of the bits I absolutely adore. Oh my god.
Yeah. Take your time.
Getting the goosebumps. I love this movie. I do love this movie. The bit when they're on the staircase and he's got Superman. He's punching him.
Yep.
No one bleeds in this film. So Batman actually gets his answer. He goes like, "Do you bleed?" No.
No, because we're trying to keep that rating
down.
Because
it's PG-13. Wait for that Ultimate Edition.
Oh.
I know. And the bit where where he's punching him, and slowly Superman just sort of. And he's like that, and he's just not moving, and you see the shit.
Yeah.
Like he backs up, and then Superman just goes, "Oh god, yeah." That shiver down your spine, you know.
Yeah. Again, people complaining that it seemed like Batman wasn't prepared. He was prepared, but he is facing against someone that could at any moment could kill him.
Yeah, like he could put his fist through his chest.
Yep.
And kill him. To go toe to toe with him is, Alfred says, suicide.
Yeah.
But he's prepared because he's Batman.
Yes.
And he's the best.
Exactly. But yeah, so that fight ends with he's literally about to put a spear through his heart. He makes him bleed, technically, because he cuts his face.
He does. That, yeah, I mean, that's
would have been a perfect time for him to be like, hold it back, Batman.
Yeah.
I've done what I set out to do. And then they could have teamed up. But no, their mums have the same name.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a big it's acted out to be holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. It's just their names.
Exactly.
Like, it's just their names.
At some point, Batman, Bruce Wayne, must have found out, because he knows who Superman is. He knows his secret identity.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of assumed.
Yeah.
Because he turns up at the funeral.
Yeah, but that's at the end. That's at the end of it.
So at some point,
yeah.
No, who he is.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the big complaints. Everyone was like, "Well, how does Superman know it's Bruce when he lands?" He goes, "Bruce, wait, like, well, he's Superman."
Yeah, and they actually
X-ray.
make a point of in the party scene when he's listening to Alfred, he can hear it.
Yeah, and he's Superman. And the famous scene, do you ever watch Batman animated show?
Sometimes.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy was amazing. The famous scene where Superman's in that, and he throws Batman back, and he X-rays visions for his mask. He's like, oh, it's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
It's like,
also, Batman's not a fucking idiot. Glasses isn't going to hide shit.
No, one of the biggest things that it's like Lois Lane syndrome. Like, Superman, Clark Kent. Like, Clark Kent is in the, like, right at the end, after Superman's death, Clark Kent's on the other side of the page, having died.
Yeah.
Like, Superman, like, someone would just have to go, but it's a comic book, you have to make that leap. Like,
but again, like, it's one of those things that has fucked it up for anybody that wants to work on a standalone Superman film, because what are they going to do? It's got to be a prequel, because Clark Kent's alive.
You see the end. You see the end where the dirt rises.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like you see these movies like, well, how are they going to do the next one? Like, how does Marvel Cinematic Universe continue after Civil War? Like, how is Infinity War a thing after, like, what? We don't.
Yeah. But anyway, that's a big.
Superman dies at the end of this film.
Yes.
Killed by Doomsday.
And he dies in a very Superman way. It's very...
Oh, it's epic.
Yeah.
Oh, it's...
Like, that whole fight, I will say that... I feel like Batman is slightly underutilized in the fight.
He disappears a little.
Yeah, he pretty much disappears.
He's like, okay guys, bye!
He does a lot of running away.
Yes. And then he hides behind kryptonite gas.
Yes. Which kind of helps a little bit.
But let's not get into the final battle.
Okay. Well,
back to this...
Shit. Right, Alfred
saying... Yeah,
Jeremy Irons.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Let's talk performances. So let's talk performances.
Okay.
Welcome to the bit about performances in this very structured video.
I'm going to have to timestamp this or something, because people are just going to have like a massive headache.
What's going on? About? This is actually more coherent though than Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Yeah, surprisingly. But yes, performances. So let's start. Ben Affleck. Oof, blew it away.
My boy.
Love it.
So I think we spoke a while back about Ben Affleck playing Batman.
Probably.
And I think you were of the mindset that he was going to do a good job.
I thought I had high hopes that he was going to do a good job. One, because he's definitely come a long way as an actor / director, so he knows how to get a performance out of something. Also, Daredevil.
Yeah.
So I don't think he was like, in his mind, he was like, don't fuck up.
Yeah. He had to take a lot of chances. I am always been in the camp of go Ben. Like, dude's gonna own it. And incredible, best thing about the movie.
Amazing.
And that's not even me being biased. Like,
yeah, no, it's by far the best thing about the movie. It's what makes me... I can't wait for the standalone Batman film. It's going to be amazing.
Titled The Batman.
Yeah. Because even though you've got him as Batman, so the voice modulator makes sense. He's fucking... When he fights, he's a fucking badass.
The Batman combat... Wow.
It's a lot more fluid than the Nolan. Like, I love the Nolan Batman films. I love them.
Oh, by far. No,
but
this
fighting
doesn't
just
go on it. Like,
it's not very exciting.
No.
This, I nearly got an erection.
But fair enough. I mean, I cried. Like, so they're saying. So, like, Bale was very punchy. But, like, take that goon scene where he's just sort of, like, flipping over people and... knocking people into walls.
He's got gadgets.
Yeah, he's utilising his gadgets.
Yeah.
His Batmobile is sick.
Oh yeah.
Like, that Batmobile chase scene was incredible. A lot of people died.
We'll touch on that in a second.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne, awesome. So that you've got the flip side between when he's with Alfred's. He's quite sullen. You can see that he's got a lot on his shoulders. He's seen some shit. He's not how he used to be.
No.
And then you've got him at the party, which is a bit more charming. And
yeah, it's Bruce Wayne. Like
when he's with Wonder Woman, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, dude knows his words.
Yes.
And he captures that. Because this is Bruce Wayne that it says in the movie 20 years of being always. So I don't know about you, I've always seen Batman as starting around 25.
Yeah.
Not much older than us.
No.
We're 22, 24, so you could be Batman in the next couple of years. So that puts him at least 45. At least 45, pushing on. I mean, Batman in The Dark Knight Returns.
He is ripped.
He is huge. Absolutely.
Massive.
Like that, the Rocky moment where he's like pulling tyres and it's raining, and that bit was hilarious. Huge. And The Dark Knight Returns, Batman's old. Like, it's a very old Batman. And he's not as old in this film because, let's be honest, we're not going to see that old Batman. Like, it's the same.
Yeah.
He absolutely destroyed it. Like, anytime he was on screen.
Really, really liked him.
And his
really
suit,
loved it.
His suit.
Suit, yeah, really works well.
I want to see it again.
Now, possibly my biggest gripe with the movie. Batman kills motherfuckers left and right.
Batman kills a lot of people. You never see anyone dead because of his actions.
No.
But he flips a car on top of another car, flies through buildings.
Flies through a truck with people in it.
Yeah.
And there's only 2 people when there was 3.
Shoots the guy's flamethrower canister.
Causing him to explode in flames.
Potentially.
Kicks a guy in the face when he's holding a grenade.
The grenade blows up. I mean, I will bat around it, like sort of saying you never see people dead. And this is DC world. The guy that blew up in the flames could easily become Firefly, like that kind of thing. But on a very base level, he does not give two shits.
This is another thing where it's like it asks a lot of you. Now, Zack Snyder he's been quoted as saying that it's not murder, it's manslaughter.
Which isn't really an argument.
No, he causes people to die, but not by his own hand.
Yeah.
So that's a pass.
Yeah, and it doesn't. Big Batman fan. As we've established.
Yes.
It doesn't disappoint me. People look at me and go, he's just because he's been a fanboy. But that is, to me, that is this world. Like, that is this Batman. Like, he is brutal. Like, he's branding people.
Yes.
Like...
But it
goes against the whole Batman never
exactly
kills.
It's very tough like that. I know there has been comics and shows or one-offs where he has killed people, but ultimately the thing that separates him from the criminals is that he won't kill.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's his thing. So like in this universe, although he doesn't directly kill, which there's a scene where there's a guy in a mini turret in a car, he's shooting at him, so he turns on his gun on his bat plane and just fucking shoots him and he dies.
Yeah, it's a big explosion. And weirdly, the only time that it ever caused me to sort of go, isn't the killing, it's the usage of guns.
Yes.
So like in the nightmare sequence. Can we save the nightmare sequence and all the world building till the end?
Yeah,
because that's when I'm going to lose my shit.
Right. Okay. Now. So again, like when he in the dream sequence, it's a dream sequence. So I can understand that. I can let that go. Yeah. But he shoots the guy's gas tank, and there's been times where he's like, "We don't use guns. Guns is what separates us from them." And it's just very. It's very tough for me to accept that.
Yes, no, absolutely.
I get what you say when it's that kind of universe. Yeah, there might be a weird cut there or something.
Morning.
We've been talking. It's actually getting fucking dark.
It is, isn't it?
I'm gonna turn on a light.
Flick that light on. So I'm gonna keep talking. Wait.
Let's turn on.
Oh.
Okay, lights everywhere. Now we're really orange and yellowy. So
he kills people.
He kills people, could potentially kill Joker in the future if he ever encounters him.
It does raise a lot more questions than answers.
But what I'm hoping is that the standalone Batman films kind of ignores the killing.
Yeah.
And goes back to just him being brutal, but not to the point where he's just going to let people die all the time and indirectly kill them.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. There's the line that he says to Alfred saying, we're criminals, Alfred, we've been criminals for a long time. So it does, that immediately sets up the sort of, this is a Batman who is aware that he's not a great good
not
guy.
As good as he used to be.
No, like, yeah,
I can kind of understand that because it's that implied notion of this is a guy that's gone through so much that he is like this now. Like it's a shame that it didn't build on it, but just seeing the Robin suit,
Yes.
it's implied, but just like having a conversation with Alfred where building on from that, like if he was looking at the suit and Alfred came along and is like,
What's it? Yeah.
look, it's okay, you know, I know it's been a while, and
Yeah.
he could just say something like, I don't care, I'm fed up with these guys. Just something like that, just to vocalise it.
So I think that's the film's obviously doing a lot. It's a very, very busy movie.
Yes.
But it's exhaustingly busy.
Yes.
I think it's another thing I sort of took from it is that we're sort of being put into this world. Well, it's true. We're being put into this world as it's existing.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the whole they're starting from the top and working their way down.
So things have happened.
Things have happened. So like Jason Todd, I'm hoping it's Jason Todd because Jason Todd's badass. Jason Todd's been killed.
Yeah.
He's dead. So this Batman is 20 years. Like this Batman has seen stuff. And we just sort of had to take, and that's why there's a complaint that Wonder Woman just shows up. Well, she's been Wonder like.
See that I didn't have an issue with.
No,
I didn't have
like she happens.
her popping
She's
up
there. This is a world that exists already, and that's what I like about it is like there's world building, which we will get onto. The big headline of this video is going to be the Nightmare Sequence and the Flash. But this is a world that exists.
Yeah,
like this is a world that exists already. This is Batman that's seen shit, but yeah, he does kill. There's no bat around it. But I personally not a deal breaker.
Yeah.
But I'm a fanboy.
It's going to take me a little bit getting used to. So we spent maybe 10 minutes supposedly just talking about Batman as a character and Ben Affleck's performance.
He's that good. He's that good.
Let's just quickly rattle off the other people so we can get... I feel like we've covered most of the film.
We've done, yeah. There was the only one we haven't spoken about really is the sequence in the court.
Very underwhelming.
The sort of very strange, like Holly Hunter's performance as the senator.
Yeah.
Very strange when she started. It goes on, it lingers, much like the Aquaman scene. Where let me reenact. I'm gonna reenact the Aquaman scene for you all, where you see him on. We'll get onto it again because it's part of the world. But he basically just like that for ages.
Yep.
It really lingers on, and the Holly Hunter scene in the court really does as well.
Yeah, and
where she's sort of losing her words.
Yeah, they're trying to show that she's slowly being rattled by.
Yeah, she's like Lex isn't here.
The intimidation of Lex Luthor. But yeah, it's just a very underwhelming scene. It would have been nice to try and see Superman justify his actions.
Yeah, because he never speaks.
No.
He just, I felt it was like, when he's walking in the suit and like...
that was...
Henry Cavill, talking about Ben Affleck being physically intimidating.
Oh,
Henry Cavill in that suit. I heard someone down the row with me go, Jesus Christ. Like when he's walking into the court.
Yeah.
I love the touch of him opening the gate as well.
And it's like we all know he fucking smashed it off.
He could have just floated over it. But yeah, Henry Cavill's Superman was amazing.
Henry Cavill, good Superman. So far hasn't really been given too much to do.
No.
He spends a lot of this film moping.
He does.
He mopes in fire.
Yeah, I mean that's the bit I was just about to go to. The court explodes. Wallace from earlier in the film is given a special wheelchair
from Lex, which I'm assuming is lead, lined with lead.
Yeah,
which would make sense.
My question is that does he know that it's a bomb?
I would assume not.
Yeah, because he is not sat there panicking.
No, he's sat there like he's about to tear Superman a new one.
Yeah, and I think that is the way like, oh, Lex is bad. Yeah, like, that was for me. Like,
kills Mercy Graves.
Yeah, he kills Mercy Graves. Yeah, that was. Yeah,
it's a bit of a shame.
Yeah, great character.
Quite a cool character. Yeah.
Dead again. Joins Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that scene was, but that shot of him in the fire, it was quite powerful, I thought. But it was quite melodramatic.
Again, it didn't, for me, because there was no altercation. It wasn't like he was slowly winning people over. It wasn't as though he was being torn down by the government, the people that he's been trying to save. It's just he walks in, he says nothing. There's an awkward silence. blows up, and it's just like, oh, could have done something.
But I suppose him being there, he probably knows that him being there led to that.
Yeah.
So that was the next plan. But then this goes again with the whole, if he just says something to Batman at the end, if Lois, because Lois obviously has realised something's up.
Yes.
And she goes to the court. If she'd just gone, Superman, something's going to go wrong.
Yeah.
Which she doesn't. And I get that was really sort of like she couldn't just shout Clark, but she could have said Superman.
Yeah, I guess.
Could have been a lot of more talking.
Again, it's one of those things where there's a lot of things that could have been done, probably should have been done.
Yeah.
But they weren't because lots of things had to be put into this.
Yeah, this was a very, I think, world building, isn't it?
Yeah. So, Henry Cavill.
That's the movie covered. We covered the plot points.
Yeah, so he's a great Superman. I really like him. I think he's got a good presence about him.
Yeah. He's got that good look, and I do sort of the bit I love is when he has to go and fight Batman, and he's talking to Lois, and he says, "No one stays good forever."
Ooh.
You're like, he's going to kill him.
Yeah.
Like he's going to kill him.
Yeah.
And that line.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Henry Cavill's great. But Amy Adams as Lois Clark.
Okay, but not a lot utilised well.
No.
She has an item for the first part of the movie. She gives the item away. For the latter half of the movie, she has an item, fucking throws it away.
Yeah, in the water.
And then's like, oh wait, I probably should have kept that.
I get trapped in the water now. But she is the key to something.
Yes.
But we're getting onto it. We're getting onto it. So the Amy Adams.
Gal Gadot.
Gadot.
Gadot,
Mate.
right?
Gadot. Brilliant.
Not in it that much, but really good as Wonder Woman. The fight sequence, although it is just a lot of her like zooming about. Cool.
That smart smirk she gives.
Yeah.
You're like, oh!
She's like,
Wonder Woman.
Ooh, she likes this. She's enjoying it.
Good.
She wants a good fight.
Yeah, that whole Doomsday, seeing them, I know it was spoiled by the trailers again, but seeing the Trinity on screen, I was like, oh, there was a lot in this movie that I had to refrain from standing up. Honestly, like I had to refrain from I was sat next to my mum and I was sat next to my friend Sam, and they could see me like sort of. And yeah, that moment when they're on the screen, and then there's the whole fight. They tried to pull that Avengers trick of watching all the heroes do something to the bad guy, but it doesn't quite work as well
because
they're not that good.
Batman can't do anything.
He's sort of but you see Wonder Woman with her lasso.
Yeah.
That whole Wonder Woman was amazing. I'm very, very, very excited for
really looking forward
Wonder
to
Woman next year.
Jeremy Irons as Alfred, different kind of Alfred.
Yeah.
They seem a lot closer, but then it's because again this is an older Batman.
Yeah.
He's put up with a lot of his shit.
Yes, he's probably seen
very
too
snarky.
much. Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, I loved it. Jeremy Irons as Alfred was amazing. It reminds me almost of Alfred from the New 52, where he's a lot more involved. Yeah. Whereas Alfred has really, until now, been
very hands off. Just very much
like, Master Bruce,
like granddad.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. And this guy like taking control of the Batwing and. Yeah. That was yes. Go on, Alfred.
Lawrence Fishburne, great.
Amazing, funny. The line where he's like, "Where's Clark always go? Where does he go?" Probably clicks his heels together and.
Yeah. We've covered Lex, so I think that's
it.
Everybody in regards to performances.
Quickly, I found the film funny enough.
It
very very
got
serious.
Funnier.
The line that I love is when Batman saves Martha.
Yeah.
And he says, "I'm a friend of your son's."
Yeah, but it's like it did make me chuckle, but I was like, yeah, but you were trying to kill him like 5 minutes ago. You were literally about to stab him in the heart.
It's very rushed.
Yeah.
Like it's like I hate you. Oh, we're bros.
Yeah. Although I did find her response funnier. She was like,
"Oh yeah,
the cape."
Yeah. I imagine you sat there like, "Wait,
what?
Stop it!" Very fun, very very serious. So that's performances. We've spoken about the movie in a very
very
everywhere
jumped around ways. Right. building.
World building.
Because that's what most of this film is about.
This
it's
movie
about
is
setting
for
up
that.
everything.
I mean, it's Dawn of Justice. Like, it's
Yeah.
the beginning of the Justice League.
So, first part, if I remember correctly, is the Flash.
No, nightmare sequence, man. We see the nightmare sequence first. He wakes up from the nightmare.
Yeah,
Sees the Flash scene.
Yeah, okay, so, but those two scenes should have been separated.
Okay.
It's weird because he wakes up from it like it is a dream, but
Then he
the
also
dark side is like that's probably a premonition of what's to come.
Yeah. How he has that vision, I don't know.
No, exactly. It makes no sense to him to have that in his head.
And structurally, it does make any sense because he has the dark side vision, or the apocalypse vision, or whatever. Like, as a thing, amazing, so good. And then he wakes up from that, has the Flash appear. Let's take a minute.
Okay.
That Flash scene was absolutely incredible.
I really liked it. Like,
Like,
it still seemed out of place considering everything that happened before that point was, again, very kind of realistic and quite dark. But I really liked it.
yeah, and you always sat there with Bruce because you're like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, unless you...
It does go on a little bit long.
You think?
I think it goes on a little bit too long because it's a lot of just Batman like, what's going on? There's bright lights.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I know, like, I've sort of been thinking about this, just been talking to my brother. As much as I'm a Batman fan, he's a Flash fan.
Okay.
So I looked over to him and he was like, he was doing something with his body that wasn't really like a thing. And we've been talking about what he says, and he's obviously come back. Flash, don't know how much you know.
Just what in regards to time travel?
Yeah.
I know that he can time travel.
So he's got his treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
He can, so he's obviously come back in time, and
Yes.
he's got a message for Bruce, and it's something like,
You were always right.
Yeah,
We should have listened to you.
"You're always right about him."
Yeah. Lois Lane is the key.
He also says, "Am I too soon? I'm too soon."
I'm too soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in a
Barry Allen way.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
damn it.
Yeah.
And you're right. She's the key. You've got to find us, Bruce. Find us.
Yeah. So that plays into, again, some people complaining about it. That ties into the end scene where he's like, just a feeling about getting everybody together.
Yeah.
Like that's why he says that.
And
But
go on.
I was just gonna say that coupled with the nightmare sequence, which we see in the trailer, where it's Superman coming down and there's the Superman soldiers.
Yeah.
And Superman seems evil.
Yeah.
Very Injustice vibes coming from that.
A lot of Injustice vibes. Like, Lois Lane's obviously died. Like, if you haven't played Injustice, play Injustice, because even though it's a fighting game, the story,
Great.
incredible. Like, the best part about that game is really good. But yeah, Lois Lane's died,
Yeah.
and Superman has gone bad. And that's obviously what's happened here. And that scene, there's so much. You see the dark side symbol.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It seems to be half and half because you've got him fighting all the Superman soldiers, which seems like that's his nightmare. That's like worst case scenario if I don't stop this guy.
But then
the dark side aspect, coupled with Flash coming through at the end of it, that seems like those two should have been separate.
So it's like, because you see the parademons come down, and
they're supposed to be dark side.
They're like dark side sort of soldiers.
Yeah.
And yeah, like what is going? Like the Flash scene is the post credit scene.
Yeah.
Like Bruce just
chilling out. He's had a tough day fighting.
I'm getting shivers, man. I'm getting those shivers again. Like like yeah, he sat at his computer and what excites me the most. Yeah, so I don't really know the dark side stuff and the. Like, is that Earth? But is it Earth? Like, or is it Apocalypse? Or is it...
Yeah, so there's the theory that it could be his home planet.
Yeah.
So,
and then you see the Darkseid logo, and Superman's obviously evil, but why is he evil? But Injustice C, and then that's obviously what the Flash is talking to. And there's just so much to digest, and Batman looks badass in his coat,
he looks badass.
Goggles.
He's straight up killing people.
Yeah, he's straight up shooting.
Superman.
Because at first Superman's obliterated, like...
He just lasers through people like...
So and that's like, what's happening? And like at first I was like, oh, that gun he's got, that's like a tranquilizer,
or some
or some sort of bat bullet thing.
Yep.
But then he gets the assault rifle and you're like, and that's the time where I was like, what?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Because that wasn't in the trailer. It was like that bit wasn't in the trailer.
No,
like,
it was just, even though there is a scene where he's like breaking someone's neck, people are like, maybe he's not really
knocking him out, but then he
Yeah.
gets the assault rifle, picks it up. Very strange, but very cool.
Yeah, that whole, I thought it was just like some people complaining about the quality of the world. I thought that whole thing looked really cool.
Looks
Like I
amazing.
would see a whole movie about that.
Very Zack Snyder. Very,
Yes.
very like sort of artistic-y. The film, to me, visually stunning.
For the most part, it's a very dark film. And
There's a lot
it's
to
not hard to
hide.
make a.
Very true. Very true.
But-
But the bits that were the Flash scene, for example, was like,
Yes.
and the Flash's costume. That was on
yeah,
the,
like robotic.
Yeah,
but then
like
there's
he's got the battle. It's quite battle ready.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I feel like because he sort of opens up.
Mm.
And you're like Bruce. Yeah, like, and what I love
Yes.
about
Yes.
that, Nathan.
Tell me.
What I love about that is that we're probably going to see a point where Bruce sends Barry back to do that, to give that message. So
Yeah.
if it's in the Justice League or in the Flash or in the Batman, like we're gonna see him send that message back, and I think with these movies,
Mhm.
I think this is what a lot of people have to do. Is we do have to give. I think we do have to give them time.
See, now that's been my thing. Like, any kind of gripes that I've had with this, I've been like, right, okay, well, this is their world building film. It's not going to be perfect because there's so much they have to cram into it. But because I think Zack Snyder's on to direct Justice League.
Yeah, I mean they're starting production now.
If he cocks that up, I'm done.
Yeah, like that's you have to. This one sort of gets the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Not that means it's bad because I will go on. I've gone on record
Yeah.
and saying I love this movie.
And we gave our scores earlier. So
Yeah, and having spoken about it now, I probably will deliver that 9
Ooh.
to it.
Yeah.
I love it. I had friends before going, it's gonna suck. Like a lot of people are getting rid of this movie before they've even seen it.
Yeah.
I think you have to see it. You do have to see it.
Mm.
I think it will get better, and I think but because we don't know these characters that well, because we don't know this world that well,
Yeah.
I think we are gonna, and I really do stand behind the whole. Marvel have built up to. I mean, because that's the initial comparison, isn't it? It's like, I mean, you're not going to
Because
compare it to anything. Like,
There's nothing else that
no,
like it.
and it's really Marvel have built up. They've had that sort of, and like you say, DC is sort of going, go.
Yes.
Someone's probably gone, ha.
Yeah.
Like, because Iron Man was sort of testing ground, whereas they've gone straight into it. Like,
Because they've not really had a choice,
No,
to be fair. If they did the same thing,
we wouldn't have got this movie for another 5 years,
Yeah.
then we wouldn't have got Justice League for 10 years. And some, myself included, probably would have said that would have been better.
yeah.
But
Right.
they also have to get around the whole, we've only just had the Batman in the cinema. Like, if you'd come out with if this had been the Batman, and this film, for all intents and purposes, at every, almost beat for beat where Batman's in it, it's the Dark Knight Returns film.
Yeah.
So it's almost as like Zack Snyder wanted to make that film, but he couldn't.
Dark Knight Returns and Death of Superman. Like,
Yeah.
mashed together.
Yeah, like the imagery of Doomsday exists to kill Superman. Like,
Yeah.
the reason Doomsday is known is that he kills Superman.
Yeah.
And he does, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, and I just think you do have to give these movies time. And that almost sounds like defending it, like almost like, yeah, it's shit, but I genuinely don't think it's a bad movie. Like, I really, really like it.
It's not a bad movie. It's an average movie with great comic book bits in it.
Moments.
Yeah, there you
and a very promising movie.
Yes, there's a lot that it can. If you ignore all the nonsensical parts, it gets you very excited for some other movies to come.
Yeah, and like we like the scene that I would have put at the end was the scene with Diana watching. Go on.
Hold that for
Okay.
me and my camera have a wonderful relationship.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's Nathan versus camera.
I take you down, camera. I'm not afraid to. I've seen your kind before.
Cast this guy.
Not afraid.
Cast this guy in a movie. Cast this guy. Come on.
So, have we've spoken about the dream sequence enough, I guess.
Yeah, with the parademons, the fact that Superman and Batman really, really hate each other.
Yeah.
Again, which goes in with the Flash saying, "You're always right about him."
Yeah.
It's just there's just so much
Yeah.
I could watch that scene a few times.
Yeah, I mean, so
That's why I can't wait to have it on Blu-ray. I can't wait to own this movie like in 5 months.
yeah,
time.
I look forward to it because it's an extra half hour of content, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the Ultimate Edition. Like, what is that? Like, there probably will be blood, maybe.
Will be blood.
Half-hour content.
Film probably makes a little bit more sense.
This is what I'm thinking. So the scene that really, but when I talked about it, I sort of jumped to the conclusion, and then I sort of talked about it doesn't really matter. It's like the scene after the bomb goes up,
Yeah.
and then you zoom to LexCorp, and everyone's destroyed, and Batman's taking the kryptonite. When you look at it at the level like, oh, Batman took it, and without Lex knowing, like he's thinking, but there is obviously scenes. There's obviously something that exists of Batman going in to get that because there's ambulances and stuff. That's not a scene you just jump into.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Flash bit, loved it. Thought it was awesome.
Amazing.
Really nice little kind of Easter egg.
And just really selling me on Ezra Miller as Barry Allen.
Yeah.
Just because Grant Gustin, who plays the Flash, I really recommend you watch that show.
I will give it
so good, and
because it's getting really into like the comic book stuff.
So good, yeah. It's got Zoom in it. Mate, season 2 of the Flash, I couldn't praise it higher. And I really still one of the only things that bugs me about this is that Grant Gustin isn't playing the Flash because DC are missing out on a really useful thing in the fact that they wouldn't have had to do the Flash film.
But they might end up using him somehow because multiverse.
This is the thing. This is the really exciting thing is that they have confirmed that it is a multiverse.
Yeah.
And that the films are actually the DC extended film universe, cinematic universe.
Yeah.
So it is kind of there can be two Flash, and they're very excited. But yeah, that's that Flash scene.
Really good. Really liked it.
Yeah.
Funny. Kind of broke up the film a bit. The dream sequence / premonition is just very confusing as to which it's supposed to be. If they had broken it up to kind of break up the rest of the film, I could
like revisited it.
Yeah, like even if it was just the symbol or something like that, because as you say, it doesn't make sense that he would.
I don't know how. Like he was obviously given. I think he's given that vision by something or someone, potentially Wonder Woman, or someone.
Yeah.
He just he does basically just dream it. Yeah. There's nothing really because you see him. He plugs the thing in, and then it starts 1%, 2%. It's taking ages, and then
and then he just falls asleep. And it makes sense for Lex Luthor to know it because he accesses the data banks and seems to know everything, or like reads up on everything, and that's why he's like, oh, he's coming.
Yeah, like when he like that, it really stands apart from the film. But when he opens the drive and there's the cyborg. The clip of Cyborg was awesome.
Right, okay, so let's talk about this bit.
So I think I know where you're going with this.
Fucking hell, man. Like, it's just a whole scene of her sat there just reading stuff. And all of the things have been designed to have their logos. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And it's so ham-fisted, and it's clicked on in the order that they're going to come out. It's like, why do
it's
it like
almost
that?
like
because if it was an after credit scene, you know that that's for the audience, so it would make more sense. But putting it in the middle of a film, it just completely puts it out of context in relation to everything else.
I think it really was Easter egg, like in terms of the after credit sequence.
Yeah.
And I can't defend that. Like, that's the way I say it. Like, there's no need for her to do that. Like, well, in a way there is. Because you learn what he knows, but it's literally for us.
Yeah.
And like he's obviously named like the Flash, like this says red streak and
and it's delivered in a weird way as well because she's like scrolling through the email from Bruce.
Yeah.
And him saying like, "Who are you?
This is you. It is you."
Yeah, it's like Bruce, you're the greatest detective in the world. Figure it out.
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah.
You're looking at this on a computer.
Yeah. So minus the symbolism being really over the head and the clicking in the order. Let's break. So each scene flashes short, sweet, simple.
Yeah,
Great.
The dude's
Cool.
fast.
Yeah.
It's
dude's
almost
fast.
it was almost made as if like assuming that you have watched the TV show, so you know who that is.
Yeah,
And it is-
I feel like Flash is one of the more well-known DC characters.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were to ask a random person,
who the Flash is.
yeah, they'd be like, he's the fast guy from DC, isn't he? Or from
Yeah.
the comic books.
Yeah, you could
Which is
almost
enough.
Yeah, and with Cyborg, probably don't.
Yeah, see, now that's the thing. I only know about Cyborg from the animated show Teen Titans.
Oh, what a show though!
Great show.
Great
Love
show.
it. But that's all I know about him, and that seemed really like dark and like
So
horrifying.
yeah, so Cyborg's been almost retconned in recent years, where he was originally just Teen Titans and part of Justice League, but he's been since I believe it's the beginning of New 52. He is now a founding member of the Justice League.
Yes, I've heard
So
that.
he's quite a serious part of it, and he's the son of Silas Stone,
Yes.
the scientist.
He worked at Star Labs.
Yeah, that bit where it's like property of Star Labs, like, "Rah!"
Yeah.
And yeah, he brings him back to life, and yeah, he was screaming.
Yeah.
The CGI wasn't great on Cyborg, but then it's half a body.
Yeah.
But it is 2016.
For me, that seems like it's going to be. It is DC, so Marvel is very light and very bubbly. DC is more dark and brooding, minus Flash because he seems quite.
He's quite
fun.
chirpy and fun.
Yeah. This seems more of like a body horror type thing. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
I'm very, very interested in Cyborg.
Yeah, I just want to see what route they take it down.
So yeah, on the tone thing, it is interesting because DC does always strike you as the darker one,
Yeah.
but characters like the Flash, Superman as well. Superman really shouldn't be this dark.
No.
Like, he's a symbol of hope. I don't know what tone they'll go for Wonder Woman, and Aquaman, badass.
Action adventure.
Yeah,
'Cause that's the thing-
history.
As I say, like Marvel was they've got the kind of the more happy, more upbeat, more family orientated films. So these, it seems to me that like DC is just like, we don't have anywhere else to go with this, so let's just stick with dark and brooding.
Yeah, and I think that is almost a weakness to it because whereas Marvel have that lightheartedness and that family adventure, is they get away with a lot more.
Yes.
Whereas when something sticks out in DC's films that's not that great or unintentionally funny,
Yeah.
it gets picked up on a lot more.
Yeah.
So like the Aquaman scene lingers for far too long.
Yeah, I
And
feel
it's
like
always like, oh, there he is. That's cool.
I feel like that's their
still
way
cool.
of making you realise, yes, he can breathe underwater.
Yeah, and it's also like it's Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
You may know Game of
Yes.
Thrones.
Stargate Atlantis.
You know.
Yeah.
But that's
Badass.
and that scene could have almost been better if when you saw his eyes, then the trident came out,
Yeah.
and he, and yeah, it was honestly one of the only things that really made me go,
That was weird.
yeah, because it's like, oh, cool, still
Less-
cool,
Starting to become less cool.
okay, do some, oh, bye,
Yeah.
yeah, weird, but I love that moment. I thought it was really, but yeah, it was out of place.
Yes.
in that she would take some time to.
Again, it goes to what everybody's saying. This film is a mess.
It's like I said at the beginning, it's just a series of scenes
Yes.
until the end when it really gets focused on the conflict, and then you fight Doomsday and
Yeah. So, looks like we might be running out of battery soon. So what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly do like an ending bit.
Okay,
And then
cool.
if we have any other afterthoughts, like I realised that we haven't actually spoken about Superman's coffin or anything like that and what that could mean.
Yes,
So, are you at a 9?
I'm at a 9.
Okay. Then.
I'm at a 9, not at a 10. Batman gets a 10,
Batman.
but the film gets a
definitely
9 from me
Yeah.
as a fan, which some people will probably hate me for because fans hate this movie.
Yeah.
But I really, 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 really liked it. It did exactly what I wanted it to.
I will stick with just giving it a 7
Okay.
because having spoken to someone that is very much a fan of it, there are more things that I'm willing to be lenient on, just for kind of the future's sake, I suppose. But I am very much looking forward to that extra 30 minutes to see what it does.
Yeah, and it should come out around my birthday.
Ooh, Lucky you.
Can't wait, but yeah, really. Go see Batman vs Superman.
Yes.
Go on, Jesse.
Regardless, I mean, there's going to be stuff that you like in it, even if it is just the big fight scenes.
Yeah.
But yeah, just go see it.
Also, next year when Transformers 5 comes out,
Ugh, God.
don't just give it a free pass if you're going to give this movie shit.
Yeah.
Like, this movie is a whole lot better than that. Yeah, I really like. And also, if you hate it and you've seen it, you paid to see it. These movies are happening.
Yeah.
Made 400 more money than Avengers in its opening weekend. Highest. Yeah. So
there you go.
these movies happen.
It's gonna happen.
See it before you call it shit.
You can't stop it.
Yeah.
So thank you. It's
Thank you,
nice
Nathan.
to have just gotten that all off my chest.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good. I need to see it again. I really need to see it again.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to cry again. Like, I want to watch it.
Watch it like picking out details. Like,
Yeah,
is
and
there
it
something
might
in the
fall
background?
apart. It might fall apart. Bruce Wayne does run past Solomon Grundy's grave,
Yes, he does.
which is really good. And it might start falling apart for me, but I doubt it.
Probably not.
I really, really doubt it.
But anyway, there you go.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Sorry it was incoherent, but that is a theme.
I don't apologise. I apologise for nothing
Nothing!
because it's my YouTube channel and nobody watches it.
Except for you.
Whoever's watching this.
Watching
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Mum!
Yeah.
We should do this again sometime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, okay. If you do watch it, let us know what you think of this film.
Season finale of The Walking Dead, potentially.
God damn. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Anyway, you have been you, we have been us.
I've kind of been me.
He's kind of been him. He's been more of a Batman fan.
Mm.
But anyway, we'll see you in the next video.
Bye!
So obviously, yeah, just Superman's alive.
Yeah.
I guess. Like.
Yeah, I'm guessing. I'm guessing the dirt rises.
Yeah, because. Oh, that was so horrible. I
You
felt
have to
bad
put
for
this at the
laughing.
end of the video. That's like some sort of outtake.